The former king of Soliana used to reside in this castle, but a major accident occurred 10 years ago, and no one's lived there since.
Accident?
I heard a prototype energy engine failed, which caused the accident. I think the name of the plan was...
The Solaris Project. It was an ambitious project named after their eternal sun god.
Doctor?
It's been a while, my dear Rouge. And of course, Shadow. Now, if you'd be so kind as to hand back the Scepter of Darkness you took from me. No!
Shadow!
It's no use! Pull back! Pull back! Pull back!
What? His shadow.
Oh, how ironic fate can be. I would never have believed I would be resurrected through your shade. I thank you, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Who are you? And how do you know my name?
I'm Mephiles. Mephiles the Dark. What? Did you forget me? I owe much to you, Shadow. Oh, yes. What you gave to me, I now return to you. A one-way ticket to oblivion.
What is this place?
It seems we've been teleported to another location.
Well, let's find out where we are.
Mephiles? Who is he?
I'm in. I've pinpointed our location. It's... No, that's not possible. We're still in the doctor's base, but how can that be? Wait, there's no doubt now.
So it's not where we are? It appears we've gone through time, doesn't it?
Yes, approximately 200 years. Maybe more, depending on when this database was last updated. Well, at least we know we've arrived in the future. That means this Mephiles character has the power to control time.
His power feels very similar to my own chaos control. But...
Boy, do I feel dizzy. Where are we?
Oh, look who's here. I didn't expect to see you guys.
Rouge! Shadow!
Hi, long time no see.
This is the distant future, far removed from our own timeline.
The future? Then that means Eggman's machine can control time!
Eggman's got some nerve dropping us here.
Now, how can we get back to our own time?
You need a space-time rift, but this requires a lot of energy. I see. You mean using your chaos control will... Yes, but that alone is insufficient. Okay, Shadow. It looks like we need to work together.
Hello everyone, welcome to part 6 of my Let's Play of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, or part 2 of the Shadow playthrough. And for our first level of Shadow, we are in the buggy, going down Crisis City. And the buggy, I will say, I'm going to explain its problems. So, normally like a normal human being car, you run into enemies, they die. No, not this game. You run into enemies, you just phase through them like it was nothing. That's probably a problem I didn't discuss previous episode, but obviously I didn't want to throw out too much commentary in the earlier episodes that I'll run out of stuff to talk about in the later ones, so obviously I want to keep it fresh when we talk about it. But see right here, I just phased through that worm, and that worm didn't even give a damn. Now, you can also do a stunt like this, where, like, if you're about to, like, drive off a cliff, you press the Y button before, you press the Y button before going off the cliff, and you'll be able to, stand on the buggy, and because you're also still riding the buggy a little bit, you can use that to get yourself a little bit of a boost to do a jump stunt. And I feel like Shadow would do that type of thing, to be honest. It's so unique in some way. But, anyway, so we're going for Crisis City as Shadow. It's pretty much the same thing what Sonic did, only for, like, the beginning, it was a snowboard, or rather, any type of board, because taking inspiration from City Escape, it could be anything at this point. But instead of using the snowboard, it is using a vehicle, quote-unquote, Shadow the Hedgehog. No, not the character Shadow the Hedgehog, but Shadow the Hedgehog, the video game. Anyways, so this level is where I start to realize that, Shadow's levels compared to Sonic, I mean, sure, like, Sonic and Shadow may be similar, but I feel like they added more enemies and more bullshit obstacles in Shadow's playthrough. Like, Shadow's playthrough is probably more painful than Sonic, mainly because they're trying to put the more focus onto the combat mechanic that Shadow has. Shadow's meant to be the edgy edgelord and wants to, of course, beat everything up that stands in his way. He is always over the top. And I'll tell you, Jason Griffith, who do both Sonic and Shadow, they pretty much do well as the roles. Although David Duchovny and Ryan Drummond could definitely show a lot better of a Sonic and Shadow than of course Jason Griffin would. Yes, we're going to the actor side of things, but we'll talk about a lot of the actors. So here, most people would have a problem here. There's an invisible wall that sometimes happens, and in that run, clearly it did happen, and that got me discouraged because, oh god, I'm probably not gonna get an S rank. But of course, as Shadow the Hedgehog always says to me, never let anything get out of your way. You face it head on. So I'm determined to get the S rank, even if I just lose all my points from dying. But yeah, I died a lot as Shadow. Shadow is ridiculous. Like, Shadow is just like... I feel like it's the bullshit they throw at you. So like, if you're looking for any painful experience from this Let's Play, the Shadow portion of the Let's Play would absolutely be your enjoyment. But I'm going a little bit off topic here. Anyway, so we're tackling Crisis City for the third and final time. You only get to play these stages at least best 3 times, or at least once per story. So, luckily, we're gonna say goodbye to Crisis City after this video, so thank goodness you don't have to worry about Crisis City anymore. Maybe in an extra video, I might come back, but, in terms of, like, the main playthrough, this is the last time you're seeing this place. Anyways, moving on to, of course, the second act as the windows just explode sudden. How does that even make any sense? I think it's trying to pull out a nod from Sonic Adventure 1, where chaos just blows up the building suddenly, and it's like, just shatters everything. I'm not sure how that's gonna go off, but like, whatevs. Here we are in Shadow's second hand glider segment. However, unlike the first one at Kingdom Valley, you can't really do anything. You can't win by doing nothing. You actually gotta move it. This thing is in 3 levels. 2 of them you can just do nothing and you'll win. But of course, regardless, I'm gonna probably play. Of course, I'm controlling it anyways, so that way I can shoot my targets, increase my score. I guess the main reason you want to control in a, I guess, like what the what a viewer's perspective is. That's a tiny hole, and I just conveniently fell through that because I did not want to go down to that low path. I want to take the high path, and I just conveniently fell in the tiny hole. Alright, before going off topic, that's what I'm saying. From what the player is supposed to be doing is, they're supposed to be moving the glider, which I am doing, don't worry. I am definitely using advantage of it, so that way I can improve my ranking, because obviously I am playing this to the best of my ability, and I'm trying to avoid repeating doing some optional town missions that I don't want to do, so that way I can afford upgrades in the shop. That being said, upgrades in the shop can get later on, but speaking of which, while we're at it, so Sonic gets the most amount of items from his shop. Shadow and Silver don't get very much upgrades from the shop. Like, Silver has probably the least amount of upgrades. And like, Shadow's upgrades is only consisted up to 2 things. The Light Dash, as well as 3 of Shadow's boost powers. Maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. But, most of the time, like, the reason you're going to the shop is to basically, get, like, upgrades to your attack for your, like, your meter in the bottom right. And we will talk more about that, later on in Sonic's playthrough, where we will see a humongous problem with the meter. But, for right now, we are in a Shadow segment that is not actually done yet. There's a gigantic tornado. It will be throwing cars at you if you don't keep moving. You can push the X button on rails to go a little bit faster, but sometimes I feel like I'm not even going any faster, but I am. It just doesn't look like it. And people make discussions that, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, not the character, is so bad at the game that it's not even worth replaying. I mean, like, this game right here is so it's so bad it's good. But Shadow the Hedgehog is not in the it's so bad it's good category. Like, people still bring this game up today. People are still speedrunning this game today. Sonic the Hedgehog is a dead horse at this point, but people still bring it up because of how infamous its glitches and bugs and how it almost ruined the entire Sonic franchise is. This game is a meme already. And this is definitely, like... And I'm pretty sure today, Sega definitely took note of this, and they pretty much know to add polish to their games and not be lazy.
Perfect.
Anyway, say goodbye to Crisis City. We will not be coming back here ever again. And we'll be moving on to other levels finally, at long last. Anyway, so... Again, as always, if you enjoy this Let's Play, make sure to leave a like on this video, and make sure to subscribe for future content coming up, especially my Mech Warrior series that is going on. It's going to be really slow, but it will be moving.
Ah, my precious Chaos Emerald. You are also beautiful. Your mysterious brilliance. Omega? What's he doing here?
It seems he's in standby mode.
What could have possibly happened to create this future? Yes, this is Rouge. Understood. We'll be there in a minute. It looks like Sonic and his friends have found something, too. Let's go. It's not like we can do anything for him now.
Yeah.
You guys are so slow. Look.
A Chaos Emerald! You've already found one!
Well now, I may not look it, but I'm a real treasure hunter. Unlike a certain echidna I know.
What? Heh!
Have you guys discovered anything?
Yeah. I received a signal indicating there's a Chaos Emerald here, but...
You mean we've got to go through there?
If you don't like it, you can stay here.
You've got to be kidding.
Don't be late. Same to you.
And it was at that moment you realized Shadow should be the main character of this game instead of Sonic, because Shadow has much better lines instead of Sonic the Hedgehog, because Sonic the Hedgehog, all he does is act like Mario, saving princesses and all that shit, when Shadow is more keen onto his goals.
Frost's energy is out of control. Is it because of...
Anyway, so welcome to our new level, which is, of course, Flame Core. Flame Core, as you all know, is basically an active volcano. It's also filled with RNG. RNG rocks that just randomly fall from the sky out of nowhere, and it's really hard to avoid at times. But that aside, it did take me a few lives to get past this first act. You may probably notice from between the Crisis City ending to pretty much the beginning of this session that I think my life counter was at 6 and I dropped down to 4. I did die here in the very beginning a few times due to RNG, and as you all know, RNG is basically random number generator. Randomness always kills everything, and especially for games that require you for speeding, aka, you know, speed running, duh. it's really so annoying. But, anyways, let's not talk about RNG for a brief moment. We'll let this grunt community handle that bit. And let's talk about how this level is pretty interesting. And, so, Flame Core, again, is another of that, like, on fire flame level. And, basically what it is basically, most of the time, it is like a gauntlet. There is, like, fire gazers at certain points that you have to avoid. There's also this type of bottomless pit, where you have to jump over it and home attack enemies, and also avoid falling into a spike below. There's also lava all over these areas, and if you fall into the lava, you will lose your rings, and the rings will pretty much fall into the lava, so you can't recollect them. So at that point, you better find some land afterwards, but luckily, your invincibility frames for this game, I feel like it lasted longer than Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. So as long as, like, you know when to jump early, land in the lava, and still not take damage because of invincibility frames, and make another jump to make some land, that's pretty much good for you. Other than that, just be careful and be aware that this level does like to throw a ton of shit at you, and I don't like it. Now, to be fairly, I'm still gonna be treating how this game was meant to be, but I'm also treating what it is. I feel like with enough polish, this game would have been probably a perfect game. So much potential it had. If they like, Sega pretty much stuck to the deadline, which is 2006, because it's gonna be the 25th anniversary, I think. Wait, no. It's the 15th anniversary. Yeah, it's the 15th anniversary. That's what it is. This game was released for the 15th anniversary. They didn't want to delay the game, but Sega pretty much just stuck to the deadline. So as such, like, it's a rushed job, and it clearly shows. As such, people are putting in their effort into their own hands to pretty much try to fix it on their own by, like, I guess, like, getting it in Unity Engine. Because I have seen a lot of projects, or better yet, years ago I did upload a video about one particular project, and I'm pretty sure they're still working on it. It's made in Unity. They're basically trying their very best to reconstruct Sonic 06 to make it more what it's meant to be than what it is to be. And they're putting a lot of effort into making it. Now, people were hoping for a PC release, you know, like versions on Steam, because after all, we have Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Lost World, Sonic Generations. They're all released on Steam. Like, almost every Sonic game that was on console is on Steam, except for this game. People are begging Sega to release this game on Steam, so that way they can mod the game to make it what it's supposed to be. Or fix it. I mean, they can also give time, like, Sega to, I will say, though, if Sega was able to re-release the game, then maybe while they're re-releasing it, maybe they'll take the time to actually polish the game. However, I don't know if they'll be able to re-grab the same exact everything from game to game. Like, it's probably going to be a direct port than anything, and I guess they could try their best to fix a few bugs while they're at it. Ultimately, I don't think they can fix every single bug if they're just porting the same exact game, like copying and pasting or something. They pretty much did the same thing like Super Mario 3D All-Stars did. However, I will say this, Mario 64 did get a few patches at pretty much Japan during the Shendo release that pretty much made it what it's supposed to be. It also fixed the BLJ, which is the speedrunning glitch that helped pretty much get 16 and 0 star possible. They patched it for that one, and as such, they're using it for that particular version because it's probably the most patched version there is. They didn't change anything for Sunshine. Maybe they did a few fixes on Super Mario Galaxy. But other than that, like, they never changed anything from the core gameplay because it's a direct port. So I don't think, like, they'll have time to pretty much, like, fix anything if it's, like, copy and paste, but they're unable to modify the game files inside. Like, I feel like trying to copy a game from console to console is probably a pain in the neck. And, like, another thing, I know I'm going off topic and just talking about remakes and everything else compared to, of course, what's supposed to be on screen. But we're going to be going to Flame Core again pretty soon anyway, so I'll probably talk more about Flame Core when we do it as Sonic, because Sonic's pretty soon, I'll tell you that right now. Sonic's part won't take long to get to. We will get to it eventually. I'll talk about this bit though. So, in terms of power-ups for Sonic 2006, because we have like the shield, the invincibility, and the speed shoes. Shield is nowhere to be found in this game. Invincibility and speed shoes, there's definitely only, I think, one speed shoes in the entire game. Only just one. Invincibility, there's definitely a few in between, but there ain't many. Like, there's probably like 2 or 3. And even then, it works properly as Sonic. Doesn't look like it works properly as Shadow, because as you saw earlier, Shadow doesn't even glow when you got the invincibility. Like, you know, in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, when you grab the invincibility, there's this little glowy effect that pretty much is proof that you are invincible. Now, you are still invincible, don't get me wrong. It just doesn't look like you're invincible. And I guess that's what, like, the problem here is that, like, and it's only for Shadow and Silver. It doesn't, like, for Sonic, the visual effect is definitely there. It's just not for Shadow and Silver for some reason. And, of course, for the music, might as well talk about that as well. Of course, it's, like, a special version of his world. And, don't get me wrong, I like that theme. But let's talk about the speed shoes in comparison, because I know we're probably not even gonna run into these because they're in an optional side mission. And I'll probably show it in the extra video. I don't know. It literally depends, because I'm only gonna play a certain few on the extra video. But the speed shoes doesn't change music. It's pretty much the same exact music. And like in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, they did have a separate music track for it, but this game doesn't. Alright, so here we are at Rouge. Might as well talk a little bit of this, because I do need to talk about the voice actress, because I think now's the perfect time. Rouge is voice acted by Kathleen... Hold on. It's voice acted by Kathleen Delaney. Kathleen Delaney. There we go. Kathleen Delaney. That's how we say it. And, she's supposed to pull off a sassy woman type of vibe and, like, try to lure people in and something like that. And, like, compared to, like, Sonic Adventure 2's Rouge, I forgot her actress's name. But, honestly, I don't think the sassy tone pretty much fits Rouge at all. I mean, maybe it does in certain ways, but then again, I definitely watch a lot of Sonic Song 182, and I might as well give a shout out to her because, I love her content. KN definitely does a lot better than Kathleen Lee, and I wish, like, she actually gets a voice acting career in the Sega official, business. I'll probably send this into the Sonic Song 182 voice, Discord to let her know that.
Not even a challenge.
But, that being said, Kathleen Lee, I don't think she fits Rouge very well. Like, she could do a lot better, but I don't think today's, especially Shadow the Hedgehog's, not very well.
I found a Chaos Emerald.
Don't touch it!
What? What's this?
Alrighty, folks, so now we're going to be tackling Iblis Mark II, actually. Mark II, in other words, it's basically Iblis's lizard form. And, this boss, if you're doing this the normal way, will take forever.
I need to find someone.
This boss is pretty much a waiting game. Basically, you gotta do is wait for stalactites to fall so you can get across. But that's not the only slight. You have to wait for 3 slices of stalactites. But I said screw that. I'm just gonna jump into the lava, take some damage, and I'm gonna hit that orb. This is basically my faster route to get the S rank. Because, like, if you're doing this the normal way, there's no way you're gonna easily S rank this. Do it this way. Wait for the first set of stalactites to fall down. Make sure to grab some rings, but do not take all of them. Only take, like, a slight few, so that way you'll be able to have more whenever you go back to this area. Jump into the lava, take a hit, homing attack the orb, and then wait for the worm to go in. Obviously, you're supposed to wait for all the stalactites to fall so you can carefully get across without like taking any damage whatsoever. But that's slow and boring. And I think like out of any of the bosses of the entire game, this is the worst boss to fight. Like, this boss, this goes to number 1 of the worst list. But, other than that, there's a lot more I want to talk about this boss, but I'll probably talk more about it in, Sonic's version of this fight. But, other than that, this version of this fight is pretty just, once again, as I said, slow and boring. That's all I have to say about this. There's really nothing entertaining about it other than it's just, you gotta wait for it. Now, after the third hit, he's gonna do something different. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be hitting the orbs to get him to come closer in the 4th phase, or I have to, like, wait it out this round in order for him to do something. So I waited anyways, and I decided to go ahead and hit the orb. Because, like, he wasn't coming down to me. Because he's gonna do something different on the 4th hit. So, on the 4th hit, basically, he's not gonna go for the purple orbs anymore. He's gonna go straight towards you.
It's coming.
So, as such, basically, you have to do is, like, keep a close eye on him. And I almost didn't do it. And just homing attack on his eye, where it's dazed, and he is out for the count. And that's pretty much it for today's episode of Shadow. I think next episode we're probably gonna be, I don't know, maybe we're doing Silver next. We're probably gonna be doing Silver next. And then we'll do Sonic. I'm not sure. I need to go check my notes, but right now it's a little bit too late for me to do that. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this. As always, mardiman641 signing out. Have yourself a fantastic night, and I will see you, Legends, in the next one.